Greg is back after a little vacay. You look very summery.
Oh yeah, it's finally summer. Nice weather, right?
Did you get a chance to chill out?
Well, I was in New York City, so there's not much chilling.
Yeah,
in New York
okay,
City.
yeah, okay.
And even though I had lived there, the driving still is very challenging.
Does it make it?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Makes you appreciate New Hampshire when you see the sign. It says "Welcome to New Hampshire." Like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, lot calmer. It was nice though. I mean, there on a weekend isn't bad. In touring the city and walking around and then driving back out on a weekend was fine. But
Yeah.
you know that FDR, that's tight. You know, and they're both closing in on your lanes on both sides.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
So my wife closed her eyes at one point. She's just
Which is worse, driving in New York City or driving in Boston?
probably Boston. Boston seems to
It really does, doesn't it?
They seem to just cut right in. You know, like I'm taking it.
If you make eye contact in Boston, it's all over.
Yeah.
You cannot look at you just have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very
It's
weird.
offensive driving in Boston.
How do you mean that?
You got to go.
Offensive or offensive?
No, offensive,
Oh,
as
okay.
opposed
Yeah.
to defensive
Okay,
driving
all
the
right.
way we were taught.
I got you.
Yeah, it's not our New Hampshire way of going, you go first. No, you go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And people always look at me around here like, you're going to let me get in front of you? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't understand
No,
it.
they don't.
From
They
out
don't.
of state.
We're going to talk to Kelly Molloy this morning. You should, Pat Kelly Molloy.
Hey, see, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Certified health coach, offers food sensitivity testing and helps people make healthy food changes to feel their best. Yay. You can find her at greenlifewellness.com or on Instagram as Live Free Kelly.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at that.
Live Free Kelly. I like that. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great.
Got the whole red hair Kelly thing. So, I mean, you guys should just talk, you know?
I know.
Wow.
Well, then let's talk about this. Are food allergies one of the first reasons people talk to you? Sometimes.
So first I'll make a clarification. I say food allergies, but
Yeah.
I really work with food sensitivities.
Sensitivities,
Yeah,
which is
which
a
is
different
different.
thing, which is
Yeah.
completely different from
Exactly.
allergies. Okay,
Yeah.
good. But a lot of people are sensitive to certain foods right now.
Right.
Is that their introduction to you?
Very often, yeah.
Well, my initial question is: do people not understand that it's an allergy or a sensitivity? Do they mistake the symptoms for something different?
It's
Absolutely.
the pollen in the air. That's what it is.
Right, absolutely. Well, so a food allergy is something that will cause an immune system reaction, usually within 2 to 4 hours. Mm-hmm. So if people aren't having that immediate of a reaction, they usually don't think they have
2 to 4
a
hours
problem.
is immediate?
That's
That's what you consider immediate?
that's a food allergy.
Really?
Yeah, so like peanuts, shellfish.
And it takes that long for it to kick in?
Yeah, for some
Oh,
people,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, some people it's immediate, but
Well, that's
within-
what I thought.
within-
I think immediate.
within 2 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
But food sensitivities can be days.
Sure.
So you can have a food that your immune system is fighting, and you might not have a reaction or symptoms from that for several days.
Now, give examples. Like what?
Dairy, gluten, eggs, soy, corn,
How does it manifest itself?
different in everyone.
Really?
So some of the
I'm
common
looking
things.
for one answer, girl.
Okay.
Come on.
I know, but it's not all. It's not all black and white,
I'll
is it?
give
It
you
is-
a list.
Okay.
I'll give you a list, right? So a lot of the people that will come to me, some have digestive issues, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some will have joint pain, maybe migraines,
Uh-huh.
could be skin issues.
Sure.
So it's usually something chronic, something that's been happening for a while,
Okay.
and nothing else has resolved it. And
Okay.
so then we'll do testing. We'll see what comes back for them. And, they remove those foods, and we see things change.
Wow.
So just by taking that food out of your diet,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And how is it that some people develop allergies or sensitivities later in life?
Yeah.
And also with
Great
allergies, I was allergic to yeast when I was young, but I didn't do
Right.
anything different, and I don't seem to be now.
Right.
Or maybe I just don't understand the symptoms, and I am.
Right. So that's one thing is that the symptoms can actually morph or change over time. So you can have people that as children had chronic ear infections from dairy.
Oh, sure.
And as they get older, it becomes sinus infections or bronchial issues.
Sure.
So it can change a little bit. So that's one thing. But we can also develop new reactions or sensitivities based on a lot of things. Leaky gut is one, but also antibiotic use,
Oh, sure.
different medications that can cause leaky gut, your there's a lot of things that can actually lead to developing food sensitivities.
Let's see, I know we've mentioned this before, that when I was a kid, cats and dogs, whoa,
Yeah.
allergic. If they're in like 100 yards,
Right.
and so I had some kind of allergy shots or something as a kid.
Yeah.
Now, the dogs sleep with me on the bed.
Right.
I have no problem.
Right.
Can you grow out of
Yeah,
this? You
sure,
can.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, you can. And so with food sensitivities, some of them can go away over time. What we usually have to do is take the food out long enough for the immune system to sort of forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which typically is 8 months to a year.
Right.
And then the person can try reintroducing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that strategically so that we can watch for any reactions. But oftentimes they can be reintroduced. It's really just the immune system at some point has tagged that food as an invader, as not a food.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily that that food is bad. And so if we take that food out long enough, the immune system can forget about it, the antibodies can calm down, and then that person may be able to reintroduce it.
But you're like CSI.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
this is kind of like
Okay.
detective work
Well,
that you do.
well, I'm thinking but of course I'm going to the worst case, as I always do. If I'm having fettuccine Alfredo, yay, love it, cream, but there's spices. How do you identify? Because the spices that he makes in his fettuccine Alfredo are different than mine, but the reaction, I mean, it really is CSI. How do you figure
Right.
this out?
Well, so the blood testing will identify. The one that I do is for 96 different foods, so that will identify if any of those 96
Wow.
foods.
Okay.
I don't do it more extensive than that because, frankly, people get overwhelmed.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know,
Hell,
they
I'm
get
rocked by 96. How could you?
they get overwhelmed. So I
Yeah.
do the primary foods, what we call primary allergens, and that's usually enough for people to work on. And then I help them with how to introduce or how to live without those foods for whatever period of time they want to do that, right? So, and that's, I think, what we're talking about today are the substitutions, how you can deal with a gluten sensitivity or a dairy sensitivity.
Yeah, right. Because if somebody, it would be a major change in my life if dairy was taken out.
Right,
I'll be honest.
right.
How
Why?
do
There's Londonderry.
yeah,
But okay. Sorry.
smack?
Never mind.
So I would need some kind of counseling and direction through that.
Right, exactly.
You know. So what does one? I'd have to go to the nut juices. I'd have to go to almond milks and things.
So maybe. It
Maybe.
really depends. So what I would do is look at where is dairy in your life right now.
Right.
What are going to be the big issues for you? You know, for some people, it's primarily things like ice cream.
Yeah. Hello.
Right?
That's in my top 5.
Problem with that? What?
Yeah. Well, but it's the thing they don't want taken away from them.
See,
Right.
I'm the cheese, the butter, the ice cream,
I'm
the
cheese.
milk.
I'm all of that.
Yeah,
Yep.
half
and
half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the whole.
Right.
Eggs.
And
Love
frankly, there are substitutes out there for all of those things. Unfortunately, they're not all really healthy.
Right.
You know, so the pure form of dairy is in some ways healthier as a food,
Right.
right, than, your what I'll call fake cheese.
Right. Correct. Gotcha.
And those products. There is, however, one ice cream that I do recommend, and it's local.
Nice.
It's in Samberton, and it's Rock Salt Creamery,
Nice.
I've heard of it.
Yep.
and it's a cashew milk ice cream. They make it. It's homemade. It's fantastic.
Wow. Oh,
Now,
that sounds
we,
awesome.
Are we as a society getting more allergic to stuff? Now, see, we've talked about this before.
At the very least,
Yeah.
sensitive.
At the very least, yeah. Anecdotally, back when Pat and I were kids, back when Lincoln was president, we weren't we weren't allergic to anything.
Right.
Yeah,
or at least the kids that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Nobody was lactose intolerant. Nobody was
right.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
We were all eating everything under the planet.
Yeah, right.
Then we move into the late 20th century. We start modifying food. We start modifying our behavior. And oh my God, it seems like everybody's allergic to everything.
Yep, absolutely.
Is that a fair observation?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of it is. There's so many causes, but some of it's the overprescription of antibiotics that we went through for so long, right? So that can cause leaky gut. And what leaky gut is essentially is just these permeations in the intestinal lining that allow foods to leak out, and then your immune system doesn't recognize them, and it starts attacking them.
Yeah.
So that's how food sensitivities develop. But there are a lot of things that cause those perforations in the intestinal
When that
lining.
happens, how am I feeling? I mean, how does that make me feel?
So initially, you may not have any real outward symptoms because your immune system is working
Is
really
dealing
hard.
with it. Yeah,
Okay.
is dealing with it. Yeah, because
Yeah,
our
but-
body's an amazing thing. Yeah.
But as you age, and this is why so many people can have sensitivities.
Why are you looking at me when you say age? Look at him.
So many people can have these sensitivities as children, and they're not as obvious. But as you age, and your bar of health, your level of health begins to lower
Right.
for different reasons.
from
Then
aging,
those-
just from aging.
Ice
yeah.
cream.
Those symptoms become more obvious and apparent.
Yeah.
So it may not be something new. It could be something you've had for a while. It could develop as a result of leaky gut. It could, there's so many factors. If you learn about the way gluten grains are grown in our world now, there's much more gluten in the grains. They've hybridized them. So there are a lot of things that have changed in our way of eating and our food supply that have led to this.
We did a story yesterday, and it is 8:45. We're going to have to take a break.
Okay.
We did a story yesterday, and it was General Mills, I think. And somebody had accused Cheerios of having pesticides. And apparently, basically, they said, hey, look, yeah, we're dealing in oats, and oats are sprayed. So, yeah, there may be some, but it's with intolerance. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew. I didn't think about, I just think of oats. Yay, oats are good for me.
Yeah.
But even the company's admitting, well, yeah, there may be a few pesticides on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that can't be good.
Right. And glyphosate. These
Yeah,
are all
yeah.
Yes, that
huge
was another
factors.
big factor
Yeah.
in that too. Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that are causing this. And, there are a lot of people that don't know that it could be something that they're eating. And again, it's not necessarily that food is bad. It's just that at some point the immune system may have tagged it as a threat, as an enemy. And so now it's attacking that food every time it's eaten.
So for Greg and Pat and I, who have been eating pretty much whatever we wanted for the past 30 years, can we still do it, or do we have to change to get ahead of the curve to prevent stuff?
Well, that's a personal choice. I
There
guess.
you go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can if you want.
Yeah.
Right.
You can
It
if
depends.
you want.
People usually come to me because they don't feel good.
Right,
If
yeah.
they're feeling great the way they're eating, then they don't come to me. But if they're
They don't
not
question what
feeling
they're
well,
eating. Yeah,
right,
if they feel
Right.
good. Yeah.
and they've tried, the other things, they've gone the normal route and it hasn't taken care of it, then they'll come to me and say, okay, I'm ready to find out if it's something I'm eating. If they're not ready, so like for you with dairy, if you're
Yeah.
not ready, then you're not going to come to me. 'Cause
Right,
You,
it's
don't
true.
want to know.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I don't want to hear you
Right.
no more dairy
Right.
for you.
Because we get very attached to our food.
But again, if you've got a problem that you've had chronically, it's natural to want to get to the bottom of it.
Exactly.
Just tell me what's causing this,
Right. Exactly.
and then we can decide what we need to decide.
Yeah. Then we'll talk about the ice cream.
Praying it's not dairy.
We got we got to take a break. We'll be back with Kelly and Greg right
Thank
after
you.
this. Before we move a little further, the at the cash register promotion you've got going on.
Round it up
Round
at the
it up
register
at the register.
for the Friends Emergency Shelter Program
It's
this
Friends
month.
this month. What is it next month? We were trying to figure that out.
The Friendly Kitchen.
Okay.
Right-ho.
That
Good.
was it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the Friendly Kitchen.
Okay.
That program's going great.
And it is going, people,
Oh, yeah.
you know that money?
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy
I
to
was
do.
going
It's
to say
an easy way to give.
The 15 cents, the 38 cents, it adds up, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And if you're at the register, though, you're like, absolutely, go ahead.
And I applaud you, whoever came up with that brilliant idea, and I'm sure the nonprofits are thrilled to take whatever comes in.
Yeah,
So
the idea is
nice
out
job.
there. It's just a matter of implementing it.
Yep. No, fabulous idea. All right. So we've got a little bit left, Kelly. What do you want people to take away from
Well,
this?
I think today we were going to talk about alternatives. So
Okay.
the tricky thing is that now we have gluten-free and dairy-free. They're kind of big markets. They're big
They are.
money-making opportunities
Yep,
for
they are.
companies.
Right.
And oftentimes going to those products can be actually worse for you than
I was going to say, why would I make a choice to go gluten-free when I don't know if I've got a
Right.
gluten
well,
issue?
Well, yeah, so you wouldn't.
Okay. Well, no.
But-
Some people figure, oh, I got to get on this.
Oh, well, yeah, because some people have seen weight loss, in their friends or
Yeah,
family
yeah.
members as a result. But the truth is, a lot of those products can be less healthy for you.
Right.
All right, because they have all kinds of fillers, things that are used to keep those products together, right, to bind them
Yeah,
together.
absolutely. Or more sugars.
sugar,
that is definitely not a good thing
I don't
for the
need any
overall.
more sugar.
Yeah.
No.
Right. So I tend to recommend that people just eat real food.
Right.
So, if you're looking at, I don't know, like a burger, just have it in a lettuce wrap,
Right.
Right,
That's
instead.
a big thing now.
right? Or you could do what I did the other night was a roasted red pepper, right? And then I put the burgers on that.
Oh, very nice.
Or worst case, I'm not ready to give it up again. Open face.
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one
bun.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay. And that's
Right.
good. That cuts it down a little.
It's
Yeah.
baby steps if
Yeah.
you
Right.
got to do it. No, I'll
Right.
go with. But I mean, Greg's talked about this. We're into spring and summer. Local fresh veggies. This is the
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
And the more colors you get in your dinner, the better off you are.
Exactly.
So eat fresh, eat local now. And we were talking about the veggies, corn around the corner.
Yeah.
But I mean, the squashes and the tomatoes and everything's coming in. Overload on the stuff. You can't go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Leslie, what are you demoing next month?
It's gluten-free alternatives.
Gluten-free alternatives next month at the co-op. So
look at
she has
that.
the schedule
Nice.
in next week or so. It'll be on the co-op's website of the days and times for gluten-free alternatives. And,
But what you're saying, Kelly, though, that there is a way out of this if you do have a sensitivity and you do have to change a little bit. It doesn't have to be a big swing, 90-degree, 180-degree change.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and of course, it's going to depend on what that person is eating right now.
Right.
How much of their diet is that food? Mm-hmm. But it usually leads people to eat in a healthier way overall.
Yep.
Right. So, and to learn about other foods. So they might just be in sort of that rut of eating the same thing every day, and they haven't explored, other things. But just eating real food, healthy food, fruits and vegetables. Getting your proteins and your healthy fats.
But now take somebody like Greg, who's getting older.
in great shape.
I'm tired of being the poster child. All right?
Very good, Greg. Good comeback. Fast.
When we feel off because of the diet, as people get older, some people just say, "Oh, it's just one of those things as you get older.
Right.
It's one of those creaks and groans and things that happen. So, oh well," and they just move on.
Right.
How do you move past the, "Oh, this is just part of growing old," I guess, to actually find out?
Well, you have to want to.
Yeah,
Right. So
you
have
gotta.
to
It's
say,
gotta
I
start
don't
with you."
like feeling this way.
Yeah.
And if you felt better, then and you had vitality, then you're going to say, I don't think age. My mom was walking 3 miles at 94 years of age.
Wow.
So
I love her.
that's my model. Right.
Wow.
That's how I want to feel at that age. So if I'm not feeling good, I want to find out why.
Yeah,
I
so
wanna do
that
something
I
about
can
it.
walk my 3 miles. Yeah.
I know an older woman, over 65. I'll just
Very
put it that way. Probably 3 miles. She walks from her house down to get a coffee and walks back.
Wow.
And I've stopped
That's great.
and said, "Hey, want to ride?" Nope. I'm walking. I'm like, okay. Now I don't even. I felt guilty. No, that's what she does, and I'm going, "God love you." That's
Yeah.
That's
Great.
that's great.
Yeah.
As she gets her exercise, she's walking with her hot coffee. Life's good.
Right.
But that's what people need to do.
Well, and to me too, I'd rather feel better than eat something. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
How I feel is more important to me than maybe having that favorite food.
But
There's a measure there.
we hear that life is stressful, and people are eating their stress. That's how they're coping with it.
Right.
How do you get that behavior modification to stop? That's not how you deal with stress.
Oh, just creating new patterns, helping them figure out.
Yeah.
But you make it sound so easy.
Well, I know, but I think you have to be aware first. You have to make the decision. I'm not right. I don't feel well. I'd like to feel a little bit better. What can I change in my life to help me without flipping my life upside
That's
down?
awful introspective.
Well,
But
I get it.
But people have to get there.
Well, and
That's all.
the truth is, you already know.
I know. It's whether you're denying
being
or
honest with
actually
yourself,
looking at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, aches in the joints, you said that could be a sensitivity, but that could be from playing tennis for years and running for years.
Right.
And so, that's
Right.
where do I go and
That's
pay
what
money
I'm trying to figure out, how you
do I go pay money to
differentiate
figure
that?
out,
Yeah.
do I have a sensitivity or
Well-
have these knees just not liked the running for
Right.
many years?
So the other thing that you can do that doesn't cost anything is, and this is why I say you already know, you already have the answers, because I believe we intuitively know what is best for us.
So I'm in denial.
We just don't always connect with that, right? So with a lot of my clients, I actually bring in meditation, and I will do a meditation with them and ask the questions, guide them through the process of asking, you know, what change would be best for my body right now. And they always come up with it.
Nice, because you have it. You do have it inside of you. Yeah.
And you know whether, you know, dairy is okay for you or not, and whether you want to really hear that or just ignore it.
So if I'm honest with myself and I say, okay, I want to go see Kelly, is this a long process? Or we're all into instant gratification now, so I
Right.
want to come in and see you.
Right.
You wave the magic wand. Boom, I got the answers. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So for some people, it literally is just doing a test for them, and they get their results.
Okay.
Right, and then you decide what you want to do with that.
Right.
For other people, I'm going to work with you because you're going to say, "Wow, like I need to know how
I need
to
to
eat
change.
now.
Yeah,
I need
right.
some
Yeah,
guidance
yeah.
on this."
So how again do they go see Kelly?
So greenlifewellness.com is my website. I'm also on Instagram as Live Free Kelly.
I like that. Live free.
I like
Kelly.
that a lot,
That's
too.
a good one. That's a good one.
Darn it, I missed out on that one.
So you get people knocking on the door?
I do. I actually have a lot of people that I'm working with on this exact topic on food sensitivities.
That's
and doing
perfect.
Testing.
So again, food sensitivities, food allergies, not necessarily the same.
Not
No.
the same at all.
Yep.
No, but still could be affecting you, and
Right,
and
exactly.
worthy enough for some change.
Right. And actually that's important. So a lot of people think food sensitivity means, oh, I don't feel so great if I eat that food, so it's not a big deal. It still involves the immune system. So
Right.
your immune system is still fighting the food.
Right.
So there's a
And you want to
whole
take care of your immune system.
lot going on.
It seems so weird that it's not Friday. Greg, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Always
great
a
day.
pleasure seeing you. Kelly, thank you. It's always good. And you always have the answers. And Leslie, we'll get you back, I promise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Concord Food Co-op .coop.
If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord Food Co-op.